The world knows it as the City of Light, a beacon of romance, art, and architectural marvels that pierces the European sky. But light cannot exist without shadow, and in Paris, the shadow is not just a fleeting moment at dusk, it is a physical place, a sprawling labyrinth that mirrors the streets above, carved deep into the limestone bedrock. Welcome to Novel Chronicles. Today we do not look up at the iron lattice of the Eiffel Tower or gaze at the stained glass of Notre Dame. Today we descend. 20 meters below the bustling cafes and the footsteps of millions of tourists lies a silent empire, an empire inhabited not by the living, but by the dead. This is the story of the Paris Catacombs and the secrets that go far beyond the tourist-approved paths. We will walk through the unauthorized tunnels where history whispers in the dark, uncover the truth behind the Phantom of the Opera, and reveal why, even today, special police forces patrol this subterranean world to keep intruders out. To understand the darkness, we must first look at the desperation that created it. The year is 1780. Paris is a city choking on its own growth. The cemeteries, particularly Les Innocents, are overflowing. The ground can no longer hold the bodies of the deceased. The stench of decay fills the markets, tainting the very air the living breathe. Then, a long period of rain caused the unthinkable. The walls of a basement next to the cemetery collapsed, spilling rotting corpses into people's homes. The situation was catastrophic. The city faced a plague if nothing was done. The solution was drastic, yet poetic. To save the living, the dead had to be moved underground. Under the cover of night, protected by the silence of prayer and the flicker of torches, horse-drawn wagons began a macabre procession. For years, the bones of millions, peasants and nobles, victims of the plague and the guillotine, were transferred into the ancient limestone quarries that had provided the stone to build the city above. It is said that the bones of over 6 million Parisians rest in these tunnels. That is more than the current population of the city itself. When you walk through the ossuary, you are not just looking at walls of bone, you are looking at the literal foundation of Parisian history, stacked femur upon skull, and a design meant to honor the chaos of death with the order of art. But the official ossuary, the one open to the public, covers only a tiny fraction of the network. The tunnels span over 300 kilometers, a vast web that stretches beneath almost every district of Paris. And it is in these forbidden sectors, the non-public zones, where the true mysteries of Novel Chronicles unfold. Locals call them the katas. Entering them is illegal, punishable by heavy fines. Yet, a subculture known as cataphiles has made this underworld their home. They are explorers, artists, and thrill-seekers who map the uncharted darkness. But they are not the first to hide here. During World War II, these tunnels served a dual purpose. While the French resistance plotted liberation in one sector, German soldiers established bunkers in another. Imagine the tension, the silent warfare occurring in the pitch black, just meters apart, separated only by ancient stone walls. The echoes of that conflict still linger, captured in graffiti and rusted artifacts left behind in the dust. The cataphiles, however, have elevated their activities far beyond simple exploration. They hold clandestine gatherings, parties, and even build permanent structures. Years ago, police discovered a fully functional, sophisticated underground cinema, complete with a bar, seating, and electricity, a testament to the level of dedication this subculture maintains. This constant traffic and the secrecy surrounding the forbidden paths led the French government to create a special police unit, the Cataflics, solely dedicated to policing the catacombs. Their mission is not just to find the explorers, but to ensure that no structural damage is done to the ancient quarries supporting the city above. Yet, for all the police patrols, there is one legend that embodies the terror of these dark tunnels, the story of Philibert Aspat. In 1793, Philibert, a doorkeeper at the Val de Grace military hospital,
entered the catacombs by a staircase near the hospital to retrieve a lost bottle of liquor. He never returned. His only light was a single candle. In the immense, confusing maze of tunnels, the candle quickly went out. Philibert was plunged into absolute darkness, becoming utterly lost. It wasn't until 11 years later, in 1804, that his body was found, just meters from an exit, identifiable only by his keys and tattered clothing. He remains the only officially identified person to have died and been buried in the catacombs after the initial transfer of bones. His tomb is a pilgrimage site for cataphiles, marked by a moss-covered stone. It serves as a chilling reminder that in the face of the subterranean darkness, human cunning means nothing. But the darkness of Paris is not restricted to the underground. It follows the limestone upwards, clinging to the shadows of its most famous landmarks. Consider the Palais Garnier, the opulent opera house that became the central stage for one of history's most enduring mysteries, the Phantom of the Opera. The story is fiction, yes, but the conditions that inspired Gaston Leroux's tale are entirely real. The opera house is built over a massive artificial reservoir, a man-made lake that was initially a crucial part of the building's foundation, designed to stabilize the shifting, waterlogged Parisian ground. This reservoir, located deep beneath the stage, is an actual, unlit black body of water. Its existence allowed the myth of the phantom, who lived in the dungeons of the opera and used the lake to escape or transport his victims, to take root in reality. The feeling of a hidden, watery underworld beneath the stage is palpable. Furthermore, the Opera Garnier has a Box 5, which is real, and it is permanently set aside. According to tradition and the original contracts, the box must always be left empty and ready for the phantom's use. It is a nod to the legend that has become a self-fulfilling prophecy, making the story feel dangerously close to the truth. And in Paris, secrets breed secrets. The city has always been a hotbed for clandestine gatherings and secret societies. The Masons, the Templars, the Illuminati, their presence is woven into the very fabric of the architecture, hidden in the symbolism of the statues and gargoyles that guard the rooftops. The most fascinating of these secret societies, particularly in the context of the catacombs, are the groups of occultists and alchemists who searched for the philosopher's stone beneath the city. They believed the limestone tunnels held a specific esoteric energy, the perfect environment for their dark rituals and experiments. This practice was not just a fad. In the 18th and 19th centuries, high-ranking Parisian citizens, including influential politicians and artists, were known to be involved in these clandestine groups, using the anonymity of the deep catacombs to meet, away from the eyes of the church and the public. Their gatherings often involved the use of human remains as macabre altars. Imagine their chants and whispers echoing off walls built entirely of femurs and skulls. The catacombs for them were not just a graveyard, but a temple, a perfect, silent stage for their unholy communion with history. This leads us to a crucial point about the historical narrative of Paris. Much of what we believe about the city's past is the surface story. The true, complex history often resides in its shadows and in the documents locked away in its deepest archives, like those of the Vatican, which we will explore in a future episode. For centuries, Paris has been a city of revolution, not just political, but spiritual. From the burning of the Knights Templar to the Enlightenment thinkers plotting in secret cafes, the city has a profound history of challenging the established order. The underground is the physical manifestation of this rebellion. One story, often dismissed as folklore but rigorously investigated by cataphiles, involves the Dragon Gate. Deep within the forbidden maze, there is said to be a tunnel entrance blocked by carefully placed debris that is too difficult or too dangerous for the police to enter. Legend has it that this specific tunnel leads not to an ossuary or a quarry, but to a hidden, untouched network, perhaps a former Roman aqueduct or an ancient Gallic sanctuary that connects to the very foundations of the Notre Dame Cathedral. The Dragon Gate is rumored to protect a vast collection of priceless art, historical documents, or even the remnants of a lost Templar treasure hidden away centuries ago and guarded by the silence of the city's forgotten history. While police dismiss this as cataphile fantasy, there are persistent reports of highly organized groups entering the tunnels for weeks at a time, carrying specialized equipment for excavation and mapping. They are not looking for thrills. They are searching for the Dragon Gate and what lies beyond. And so we return to the surface, but the experience has changed your view forever. When you stand on a busy Parisian street, remember, what you see is only half the story. The other half
is silent, deep, and utterly mysterious, waiting to be uncovered, bone by bone, block by block. The real mystery of the catacombs is not the bones themselves, but the human impulse to interact with them. Why did the cataphiles risk arrest and death? Why did the secret societies choose this location? Because the underground holds an eternal truth. Every person who ever lived in the City of Light now supports it from below. In the silence of the deep tunnels, separated from the noise and chaos of the modern world, the history of Paris is perfectly preserved. It's a physical library of the deceased, a profound monument to the fleeting nature of life and the permanence of human impact. The catacombs are a reminder that beneath every beautiful facade, be it the Eiffel Tower, the romantic cafes, or the opulent Opera Garnier, lies a necessary, darker foundation. The Phantom of the Opera is a myth, but his presence in Box 5 is a symbol of the secrets that Paris has agreed to keep. Historians, archaeologists, and occultists have all tried to fully map the catacombs, to find the Dragon Gate, and to catalog every bone. But the sheer scale of the network defies modern science, leaving millions of secrets perfectly, eternally hidden. The silence of the Empire of the Dead serves as the city's ultimate secret keeper. It whispers only to those who dare to descend, to those who risk everything to become a part of the Novel Chronicles path. And the echoes of its past continue to define its present. Before we conclude our journey, consider this. The next time you walk the clean, bright streets of Paris, remember that you are walking directly over a population far larger and far older than the one you see, a silent multitude that remains the true, constant heart of the City of Light. The secrets of Paris have been revealed, but our quest is just begun. We have many more cities to explore, from the sunken labyrinth of Venice to the imperial archives of Rome. Every city holds a shadow, and we are committed to finding it. If you found the hidden truth of the Paris catacombs as fascinating as we did, there are 3 things you can do to help Novel Chronicles continue its work. First, hit the like button on this video. It tells the YouTube algorithm that you want more mystery content. Second, subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss our next chapter. We will be exploring the ancient enigmas of Cairo. And third, share this video with a friend who enjoys deep, immersive storytelling. Finally, let us know in the comments section below. We have covered New Orleans, London, and now Paris. Which famous city do you believe holds the deepest, most fascinating secrets? Your suggestions may inspire a future episode. Thank you for tuning in to Novel Chronicles. Until the next journey, stay curious.